Hello.
Hello, all.
Hello.
Welcome back to Actual Play. Uh, our first game of Agon Second Edition. I think the first game of Agon Second Edition to be streamed. And I have some lovely, lovely people on the game. Nadja and John and Karen, and we're gonna play a rad playtest game. But first, we're all gonna talk a little bit about ourselves and what we're doing and everything like that. So, Nadja, thanks for coming on playing Agon with us. What have you been up to? What are you doing right now?
Hey, I'm Naja Otikor, aka Trista Ray. My main jam is being an associate producer for Twitch Studios. I have a hand in almost everything that goes on twitch.tv/Twitch. So, but I'm rarely on camera. So, hello. Roleplay wise, I've been doing a lot of things off stream recently. My last big roleplay show was Risen, which was a Tomb of Annihilation adjacent show on /D&D, which is still going, just not with me. John, who are you?
Greetings, troopers.
Peasants.
Wrong game. That's my 316
Wrong.
game. I'm John Harper. I'm a game designer. I designed this game, actually. However, we're playing the second edition, which is being written by Jason Morningstar, who you may know from such games as A Bunch of Good Games, like Fiasco and Chevalier Roach, and many, many more.
Ghost Court.
Ghost Court, yes.
Gotta plug Ghost Court. It's the
Yeah,
best.
everyone should play Ghost Court.
You should just live Ghost Court. Just walk around in a white sheet.
I just have black. I only have black sheets, unfortunately. I mean, in traditional Greek attire is what I meant.
Right.
But despite the fact that this is one of my games, Jason is taking it in new directions with second edition. I'm very excited to see what they are. I've kind of gotten overviews of what he's doing as we've been trading emails back and forth, but this is the first official or first playtest at all, really, of the new stuff. So I'm not going to be the rules guy for this show. That'll be Sean's job. I'm going to sit back and absorb the new stuff and try to compete with these two who are probably going to crush me in glory. But, we'll see. We'll see. I'm wearing my armor. I'm ready. I'm ready to enter the fray.
What about John gets plus 5,000 glory if he wears it all night long, and loses all glory if he can't.
I think I can do it. Karen, what about you?
Hello, I'm Karen Twelves. I'm working on the book Improv for Gamers. Improv for Gamers, the book. It's really exciting. It's a collection of most of, if not all of the different improv exercises that I run in my workshops that are called Improv for Gamers, but it focuses on stuff for gamers and GMs and LARPers, and I've done a bunch of different stuff, and it's super fun, and people were always asking me like, hey, can I get a copy of your notes? And they were really like a horrible mess. So I wrote them out, and then a kindly editor, Josh Usley's made them better, and now they're in layout, and I'm very excited. So it's going to come out later this year.
Yeah, we just saw the first complete draft of layout, which still needs work, but it's looking good. Yeah, Joe, this is a competitive RPG. There is going to be a winner of this game.
Yes.
Everyone is pretty sure who that's going to be.
Can I just say that this is one of the first games that Sean and I played together at first with him as a GM, I believe, and I won that game.
The first time we played together, Carl was jamming.
I thought it was the second time.
Yeah.
I know
we met.
I have photos.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Agon has a long history with between us, which is a wondrous one. Well, Joe, see, I was wondering who was going to ask that. Can the GM win? Yes, because I'm just going to award myself all the glory. No, I win because I get to be in the presence of these great heroes. That's my victory. I get to be like Homer recording their tales, and it's my name that's really going to go on. We'll see which hero wins. Cool. Well, I wanted to announce one other thing, which is that Actual Play just became an affiliate. Yeah, we're super excited. I didn't ever think that was going to happen, and then we looked at the handy dandy like dashboard that was like, hey, you're getting really close. So that's awesome. If folks sub, cool. It'll first go to cover costs of Zoom and other things, and if we get more than that, it'll go to cover art assets and other fun stuff. So hey, Canadian Soy Sauce just subscribed. You are my first subscriber ever. I've never seen that line. So huzzah! That's awesome.
Awesome. There can only be one first. Good job.
Yeah. You just won. You just won as first. When we're recording Glory tonight, we're gonna be like first Twitch subscriber. Canadian Soy Sauce. Boom.
Goes on the legend sheet.
You need a legend for that. Joe. Nice. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Joe. That's very kind of all of you. That's Joe's second. Nice. That's fantastic. So a little bit about Agon. As John said, this is his game. That's first edition right there. And like Karen said, it's a game that we have played together when we first met. It is a game of Greek heroes fighting against the strife of the world against them and trying to prove who is the most glorious. And so we'll start off with making some heroes and then see how they fare when they're faced with dire challenges, and who can gain the most glory. Agon is a cooperative competitive game. It's cooperative in the sense that it's a role-playing game and that we're all trying to tell a story that includes and highlights each of our characters. If someone is the far-seeing, then we want to have cool shit off in the distance, and we want to have divinations, and we want to see that far-seeing aspect of them come to play. And we're all going to work on trying to make each other's characters look awesome. We're all going to work on trying to make each other feel respected and appreciated and share the spotlight. But it is also a competitive game in that in each contest there is going to be but one winner. And Pat, thank you very much. Yay, Pat! We have a trio of subscribers now. This is the first trio that we've had. There we go. Nice. Another landmark.
Almost a full party. We need one more for at least
we need
the first party.
Right. So in each contest and in each battle, there's going to be someone who's going to gain the most glory, and at the end of the night, we'll find out who got the most. The first thing we do in Agon is we make our heroes, and then we'll find out what battles they've already fought together or what challenges they've already faced. And then once we know their past relationship, we'll dive and we'll find them on a Greek ship sailing through the Mediterranean, through the sea, and encountering islands and facing beasts and monsters and men and challenged to go on quests by gods, and it'll be great. So I'm gonna switch over to this Houdilly and get this all groovy. So I'm going to go through. Part of this game is also going to be really procedural in the sense that I want to step through all the new rules that Jason has written. I've read them, but this is again the first playtest, so there's probably going to be a lot of reference to it. Thanks in advance for everybody's patience while we do that. And there may be confusion, and there may be times where we realize we did it wrong, and that's fine. If it's useful to testing, we may redo something. If it's not useful, if we just realize we made a mistake and we'll do it better next time, then we'll move along. So it's not, we're not trying to get it perfect right now. We're trying to learn it and see how it goes. So if you all go to Roll20 and go to your list of characters, I've made a character for each of you that has like a default, and we'll kind of go through the steps. Before the steps are fairly good at like going through the process of developing your character. But I know right before the stream, Nadia, you said you had like a name and an idea. So if anybody is kind of like already has a notion in mind, you know, a helmet wearing gladiator, for instance, feel free to share that, and we'll make sure that we work like as we step through the process towards you being able to achieve that. So Nadia, did you want to tell us about the character you had in mind?
Yeah. So right now, the outline of her name is Hagne, Hagne. Hagne, daughter of Mavros, and she is dedicated to Artemis.
Awesome.
As for her heroic trait, I was thinking the clever one. I can't remember the full wording of it.
Mm-hmm.
Clever-eyed?
Clever-eyed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of her being kind of, I mean, she's a huntress, right? Like but not only good at perceiving, you know, creatures and things to hunt, but also is insightful about people.
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
You were the first one to claim a name. Names are very important in this game. Right now, nobody else matters. There is only clever-eyed Hagne, daughter of Mavros, follow of Artemis. She's the only one.
Shit.
There'll be more, but right now, she sees you and all your bullshit.
Secretly playing myself. Hi.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Well, Nadia, you clearly have got the gist of it. So let's do that. So the first thing that everyone else is going to do, John and Karen, is pick up a name for your hero. And I will link, now that we've gotten all this nicely set up, I will link the names page so you have a whole cool list of links. Agon-rpg.com is still a incredibly useful website that
12 years, it still works.
Exactly. After 12 years, the links are still good. So I will go ahead and link this to everyone in Zoom, and I'll also put it in Twitch so y'all can follow along. Special attack, side eye. Insight as a weapon. Yeah, dig it. So Nadia, will you start? Will you go ahead and rename your character? And once everyone else is done theirs, we'll kind of go to the next step as well. What's displaying right now? What do I got going? What's up, OBS? Oh, I got like the corner of your character. Let's fix that. Okay. So Karen, do you want to name a hero? You don't need to fully flesh everything out. Nadia did like all of it, which is fantastic, but you do not.
That's as far as I've gotten. I don't know what the rest of these boxes are.
Your name is everything. Who cares about all the rest? The rest can doesn't matter. It's your name that we care about. So
all right. I'm going to go with the name Marika.
Nice.
Maarika.
Fantastic. And Marika, what is your parent of note? Now, worth noting that if you would like to be a demigod, you are totally welcome to say you're Marika and the son or daughter or child of any god of your choice.
Sure, let's do that. Let's do Zeus. Nice. Everybody's a child of Zeus who's got around.
Awesome.
So it's like that. Okay, I see. I see how it is.
Yeah. Notably, if you are the child of a god, so there's some interesting implications of it. One thing is that your fate is much shorter than everyone else's. There's a fate track. It's got 16. I think it's 16. It's got 16 checks on it. Every time you complete a quest, every time you do something major, you're going to check off a little box. And once you get to that end, your fate is full. a demigod, the child of a god, starts with half of that track full. But the further that track goes along, the higher your name die is. You're just better at everything when your fate is further along. So your story is going to be a shorter one, but you start with a stronger name. So that's fantastic. So Marika, daughter, child, son?
Daughter of Zeus.
Awesome. And then the next thing that you're going to do is pick a heroic trait. And I don't know if those are on this list. I don't think they are.
Which list are we looking at?
I just gave you the list of names, but
got it.
You've already got that, so don't worry. Let me see if I can pull up the traits. There's not that many, so if it's just a matter of listing them, I certainly can. No, of course not. Okay, I will just read them off because there's only 10 of them.
Okay.
And there's the Beastmaster, the far-reaching, the far-seeing, the fleet-footed, the great-spirited, the man-killer, the monster slayer, the strong-limbed, and the wise-eyed.
Wait, what's the man-killer?
The man-killer, it has +1 damage to humans and +2 on positioning when fighting humans.
What was the Beastmaster?
The Beastmaster, there is the Monster Slayer. Beastmaster, never mind.
Yeah.
Beastmaster is +2 on hunt rolls and +2 on positioning when fighting beasts.
Let's do the man-killer.
Cool. All right. So Marika, man-killer, daughter of Zeus. I like it. And I'm saying it correct, right? Marika?
Yeah.
I'm not
let's go with
butchering
that.
the name. Cool. Fantastic. So go ahead. I see you've already renamed your character. That's perfect. John, what are you thinking?
I am Adrastos.
Adrastos. Nice.
Let's see. Adrastos. I am the son of Kirke or Circe, how different people pronounce it ways.
Yeah. I will try to use hard C's, but I'm sure I will.
Yeah, I'm not a huge stickler in that kind of thing. I think even classicists say Circe. Circe sounds cool anyway. But I am the son of like the Circe, like the witch who messed with Odysseus and
yes,
that
not just any Circe.
Not just any Circe. I am her son. And I think I should be, I feel like I should be like fleet-footed, possibly. Or no, sorry, that was my first idea. Because I'm the son of Circe, maybe I should be great-spirited, possibly.
Wise-eyed, perhaps.
Perhaps, because I have like knowledge of lore and healing stuff. I kind of like spirit and orate though, because Circe, she didn't fuck around. She got her way. I think I may have learned that from my mother. So, yeah, I'm gonna. Well, no, I always play the loudmouth. Maybe I should go the other way. I'm gonna go the other way.
It's funny because I think in the now 2 games I've run for you, John, you've both times you've been like, I always play the character that's like huge and larger than life, so I'm gonna play the really like obsequious, smaller character. But
and then I never do. It doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. All right. So you're going wise-eyed?
I don't know. I'm really torn. What do you guys think? What do you have an input?
I mean, John, look at the way you're dressed right now. I feel like you're screaming great spirited. +2 on spirit and orate rolls.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's do it.
I think that's
you won me over.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to my book learning and my herb gathering, but
sure. I mean
sassy and yeah. All right.
Oh no, was I supposed to be editing my bio and info here in Roll20 while we were doing all this?
Yeah, you did. You're good.
I did my name, but I haven't been doing my
That's it.
stats.
That's well, we're going to get to stats right now.
Got it.
So
you're all good.
You're all good. Yeah. All right. So, I wanted to throw it in chat. So we have, great. You've got it here. I'm just going to copy it. All right. And now we have our trio, our three great heroes. Yeah, this is going to be good. Who have fought together and cheated each other and gone on adventures before, which we'll find out in a moment. The next step in Agon. So everyone knows, as far as second edition rules come to play, that part of the reason why I haven't really gone through the rules too in depth yet is that all of character creation so far hasn't changed. We'll change when we get into growth and advancement, when we get into battle and glory rewards. So those are the major things that we're going to be focusing on, and we'll try and get there, but we'll see how we go. So the next thing that we do is we choose our abilities. Each of you have 16 abilities: insight, grace, might, spirit, aim, shield, spear, sword, lore, music, orate, heal, athletics, cunning, hunt, and wrestle. And they're each broken up into their 4 categories: abarit, craft, sport, and battle. Some noticeable things: the battle skills will only be rolled in battle. But now that battle is meant to encompass all skills, that might change. But as we understand it, but they all start at D6, and you can bump any of these up by bumping another one down. So you can, if you want to be terribly insightful, you can bump your D6 up to D8 by dropping your cunning down to D4. And you can go up as high as D10 and as low as D4. So if you want a D10, you're going to have to drop 2 abilities down to D4. And then after you've done all the little tinkering, raising and lowering, then you can raise 2 abilities or 1 ability twice. So you're going to get 2 free raises. And as you progress and advance, they'll raise further. You'll notice that each of them have a little bracket next to them. And that's because in game, your abilities will become impaired when you fail at a roll, when you help somebody, who takes strain, your abilities will get knocked down. So your insight might start at D6, but after it gets impaired, it's now D4. And once it gets impaired again, it's unusable. So that's what those little brackets are meant for. So leave those there when you're making the edits, and go ahead and adjust them as you like. The abilities are more or less what they sound like, but if you have any questions about them, let me know. It's one of my jobs is to try and distribute the contests that you'll do, not necessarily as evenly as possible, but to be thoughtful about bringing up contests from each ability. So there's no reason to believe that, for instance, music or heal would not come up as often as athletics or spirit. It might, but then I'm doing a bad job of distributing things around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the helmet is comfortable getting into ourselves. I'm betting that it's really freaking hot. I'm betting that's 1,000 degrees inside that helmet.
Nothing phases Adrastos. I could wear 1,000 helmets and feel nothing.
Just have helmets stacked. Oh, Creative Cloud is restarting. Thanks, Creative Cloud. That's what I was hoping for.
Man, I got beef with Adobe.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Here we go.
Are you going to take Adobe down right now?
I'm just trying to learn how to use Premiere, and getting it installed properly took days. And I was...
Wow. The installation should not be the hard part of using Premiere.
I have to go through all this Amazon security stuff. So if it doesn't install properly the first time, then I have to go back to IT. It's a long story.
IT
it's not appropriate to say.
They have Hey, as we figured out today on Twitter, memes are the most appropriate thing to the setting. So as long as you can make
yeah, I thought that's why I'm here. Hello.
Our meme exchange made me so happy.
Yeah.
It was
Sean,
perfect.
Clarifying question.
Yes.
When we lower an ability down to D4, do we have to then raise an ability in the same category? So like within Arete or Craft or Sport?
I don't believe
it's not anywhere you want. It's like if I lower Insight, then I can put that uptick in Grace, Might, or Spirit. Or not constrained.
I don't believe it's constrained. Let me check your rules. Each ability starts when you create your memories by lowering another ability in that group. So it is in that. You're correct. Thank you.
Okay.
It's in that group.
It is in that group. Okay.
Let me make sure Jason hasn't changed that. I don't think he has, though. I don't think he made any changes to character creation. So thanks.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any in the table of contents.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, thank you for that point of order. Yeah, you have to raise and lower it within the same group.
Okay.
So I think I said raise Insight and lower Cunning. That was incorrect. You could not do that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you recap? Is there a limit to how we could shift these around?
No ability can go below D4, so you can only decrease an ability once, and no ability can go above D10, so you can only increase it twice. And then at the end, you will, you'll get 2 free increases anywhere you like.
Is there any, I don't know, does it benefit me at all to just kind of leave it all at D6s as it is?
I think there's a benefit to having a strong trait. There's two reasons for that. One is that when you're facing a challenge, if you can try and weave it towards, I'm either going to give you general or specific challenges, and that is a part of the new rules, maybe part of the old rules, but it's written in the new rules at least. So maybe give you general, and when they're general, that means I'm giving you some leeway to tell me how you're going to tackle this problem. And when they're specific, I'm going to say, you're drowning right now. You make an athletics check. Everybody roll athletics to swim to freedom, to swim to the shore. So depending on the circumstances you may or may not be able to direct the action towards using one of the abilities. And if you can roll an ability that you're better at, you definitely want to do that because you want to roll the highest, so you get the glory. So I think so. Notably, as the Manslayer, you have... you don't have any bonus on your abilities. You have +1 to damage when fighting men and +2 on position rolls against men. So you're not beholden to try and take a trait. You're not beholden to try and have or +2 on positioning, yeah. But, John has +2 on spirit and orate rolls. He's very likely to try and get a spirit and orate up there. So
Sorry, I want to write that down somewhere. It was a +1 on positioning.
+2 on positioning and +1 on damage, and you can put that right under the heroic trait part underneath abilities
when fighting humans.
And this +2 is added to the result of a rolled die.
Yes. Yeah, it's added to the result of your highest die. So if you rolled a 5, a 6, and a 3, you take that 6 and add the 2 to that. So you're not like assigning it to a particular die. Yeah, and if you have any questions about the abilities, let me know. Abilities are rated by die size. A D4 is a novice, a D6 is an adept, a D8 is a master, D10 is a champion, and D12 is legendary. We can't start at D12s, but you can aspire to them.
You said we get 2 free raises, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's also worth noting that everybody needs to choose a favored god. We already have, Hagne has already chosen that her favored god is Artemis. And each favored god has 3 abilities that you can use to when you're making sacrifices to them. So being good at one of those abilities doesn't hurt either. The gods are the major gods of the Greek pantheon: Zeus, Hera, Aphrodite, Apollo, Ares, Poseidon, Hades, Athena, Dionysus, Hermes, Artemis, and Hephaestus. If you can pick by ability if you want. If you say I'm really good at spear, who cares about that? That's great. Or you can pick gods, and then I'll let you know what their abilities are.
So which god is the man killer?
The man killer?
Hera?
Yeah. I was thinking that.
I think Hera's
makes
pretty
sense.
good.
We're going to do that.
Now, you are the daughter of Zeus, so worshiping Hera is all sorts of fun there, that you are not a follower of your god, which is totally cool. So under your, if you look at, if you edit your sheet and you look down, these sheets, there's no Agon sheets on Roll20, so we're just working with text here. If you, under God, you'll see God name and favorite abilities. Hera's favorite abilities are cunning, spirit, and aim.
Cool. What is spirit?
Spirit, John, tell me if I'm going to go searching for something that doesn't exist. Are there little mini descriptors that are going to be more eloquent than I am?
It's page 64 of the book.
Thank you.
I have to say, though, I don't know if those aren't traits that I was putting a lot of points into.
Okay.
So I don't know if that actually helps me.
I will read you spirit and see what you think. Spirit is your power of will. You test spirit in resisting the effects of the fear power, or to show bravery against a god.
Okay.
Odysseus, dripping in spirit. Just sure, gods, bring it on. I'm gonna go on a ship right now. First thing I'm gonna do is piss on Poseidon. That's my.
So my favored abilities, what does that get me?
You need to use one of those three when you want to make a sacrifice to Hera.
Oh, okay.
Those are her favorite abilities.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
That's what she cares about. If you, what were you kind of inclining towards, out of curiosity?
Well, I just didn't have aim. I wasn't going to go with a bow. Cunning was fine. I had spirit kind of low, but I'm going to bump it back up now that I know what it means.
Okay. Let's see. Let me make sure. That you have a copy. Because we're in the same house, I didn't think about sharing the book link with you. So Karen, I'm going to shoot you over the book if there's anything you want to look up.
Okay.
There it is in Zoom chat.
Thanks.
No problem. All right, John, what are you looking at like right now? What is?
Well, I almost took Zeus just as a little bit potential leverage there with Marika.
You should. No,
I might. I don't know. So it's better. Poseidon kind of suits me better. Plus suits Cersei a little better, I think.
Yeah.
If I was really like wanting to mess with you a lot, I think Zeus would be fun. Just because this is competitive doesn't mean we kind of have to be dicks to each other. We can be friends too. So I'm gonna play in that direction a little more than just being an ass, I think. So I took Poseidon as my favorite god, which is still, my hunt isn't super good, but spirit and spear are good for me. Cool. I took spirit as my best thing. I have D10 plus 2 in spirit because obviously I'm going to do that. And I also bumped up orate to a D8, which I get a plus 2 on, and bumped my lore down to D4. I've decided that Adrastos was bored by his mother's books and
I was going to say, yeah,
and spent his time running around outside. His athletics is also D8. And he favors the spear in battle. My aim is D4. I don't use bows well. or javelins. It's not my thing. Also, my grace is D4. I dropped that down. Grace is like poise and also like sudden reaction to problems or surprises or whatever, traps. I think Adrastos is bombastic and not like super subtle and poised at all. So that's a fault that he has. And let's see. I think that covers it. Yeah. That's my stuff. Spirit is one thing. It's spirit, and I see it as, since spirit is like courage, but also it's kind of that, like you were saying, that kind of Odyssean kind of like FU to the powers that be and to the status quo, or like defying what other people want, that kind of stuff. I think that's Adrastos to a T. He defied his mother's wishes and left the island and didn't study and da 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 da.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that whole refusing to learn to read his books and do all those other things, and instead of becoming a sorcerer himself, going off to fight him.
Yeah. So I will definitely be angling. I will be looking for like powerful entities to defy. That's
awesome.
Like, that's my main.
There will be several.
Oh, good. All right.
I mean, you know this game starts with a couple of gods giving you quests. So
I had a feeling there might be. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Nadja? How is Hagne looking?
Hagne, right now, insight is by far my best skill. I have a D10 in insight and a +2 from Clever Eyed. Not so good on might. And I also took a D8 in spirit. I think Hagne is very wary of people and gods especially. Demigods maybe most especially, given her traveling companion.
Nice. So I think we have a spirited group. That does not surprise me.
All of my craft skills are at a D6.
Okay.
For sport, I have a D8 in hunt and a D4 in wrestle.
Okay.
Battle, D8 in aim, D4 in spear.
Cool.
And I have a +2 to cunning from Clever Eyed as well.
Excellent.
So she's a wary person. She keeps her distance in battle. She's always making sure people aren't trying to screw her over in combat and social situations. I think traveling with these two, and I believe we talk about past exploits later.
Yes.
But I think she's been burned a couple of times with
no,
this group.
not by other heroes that we could. So go into your at least it doesn't look to me. I'm not seeing the changes in the.
Oh, I have to hit save.
There we go. Okay, excellent, fantastic, excellent, and yes, that looks wonderful. And then Karen, let's get back to your Artemis's favorite abilities. Did you already know those? They are, in case.
Hunt. Is the one that sticks out the most for obvious reasons,
right?
But I did look at it and promptly
athletics
forgot.
and aim. So
yeah.
you're good. You have a decent aim. All right, cool. And Karen, how is Marika?
I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with how these worked out, but we'll see. So insight is a D4.
Okay.
Grace is D6. Might D8 and spirit D8. Craft is D6. Lore is D6. Music D8 and orate D4.
Okay.
Athletics D10. Cunning D6. Hunt D4. Wrestle D4. Aim D4. Shield D6. Spear D6 and sword D10.
Ooh, we got a D10 weapon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, Marika is, her heroic traits help in battle. So by all means, and battle is not as common as contests in this game. There's lots and lots of contests. There's not as many battles. So you might find that the other traits are helping more in the contest, but it is my agenda as playtester to make sure we do some battles, and they're going to be a little more complicated because we're going to be going off playtest notes and whatnot, but we definitely want to do them, and by all means feel free to push for them. A battle is when you're facing a notable foe, right? If you were just if some no-name soldier gets in your face, it may be a contest, but it's not a battle. They don't actually pose a threat to you. But when facing monsters and armies and the gods themselves, well, the minions of the gods themselves, battle is appropriate. Okay, wonderful. We have our stats. If you realize the stat did a thing that wasn't what you meant it to do, we're not. This is not a punitive design. If you realize you like really made a mistake, we'll adjust as needed. It's totally cool. And excellent. We've done abilities. We've all chosen gods. We know our gods. Our
Can
gods.
you guys remind me who your gods are again? Sorry, I didn't write down who your gods were.
I'm Artemis.
Artemis.
Hera.
Oh, right, of course.
And what was yours?
Poseidon.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Cool.
So, and we all know our favorite abilities. Weapons. Next, choose weapons and armor for your heroes. You can carry one missile weapon. This is a little different because Jason has removed javelins from the game. So your missile weapon is bow. If you would like to have a bow, you can have a bow. We'll probably need to figure out how the allotment of weapons changes because there's not multiple choices in missile weapons at this point. But sticking as true as we can to what Jason's said is that if you want a bow, you got a bow. Then you can carry up to 3 melee weapons. And you can choose from spear, shield, and sword. If you wish to have 2 swords, you can. That is a thing that people do. Everything else is you can only have a maximum one of. You have 1 shield, 1 spear. So I definitely recommend you choosing the weapons that you've picked battle skills for.
So unless we're carrying 2 swords, we basically can just get one of each thing.
Yes.
Bow, shield, spear, sword.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the traditional set.
You can just say you have all.
You either have that or 2 swords and something.
And not a spear or a shield.
Right. Probably not a shield, I would guess, but
right. Right. That would get complicated. Well, so Karen, what would you like from Marika?
I guess one of each. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, in the context of the game, am I ever going to pick a spear over a sword?
You will if you're far away from something. Swords only work at close range, and spears can work at close or long range.
That's true.
Swords with your dice, though, are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no real reason not to go 2 swords, and then it's just a question of spear or shield. I think for everyone else, it's probably going to be almost a given to take one of everything.
I think I'm going to take 2 swords and a shield, and I'm gonna move my dice around a little bit and take that extra one out of spear and put it somewhere else.
Put it in shield?
No, I was going to put it in another category because I had 2 floaters.
That was one of your floaters. Got it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So I'll put it somewhere else. What is insight like versus, because you had talked about grace.
Sure. Insight is a combination of awareness, reason, and wisdom. You might test insight to see through an illusion. Insight can also be used in position roles with non-physical, non-combat battles. So if you got into an argument with somebody and you wanted to, if we got into an argument that was worthy of a battle, then we would use insight to see how you started that, or what position you started in.
How is that different from cunning?
Cunning is used for all manner of sneaking around Cunning is used for any type of stealth or subterfuge, deceit, camouflage, or trickery, and can also be resisted. Can also be used for resisting those things. Cunning is used for tactical maneuvers during battle.
Yeah, I'm going to put the extra in cunning.
Cunning's a strong choice.
Yeah. Yeah, cunning's good.
Cunning is one that you can often find ways to bring in too.
I mean, it's low and devious and not befitting a hero, but as a game mechanic, it's a good thing to do.
Cool. So under weapons, where it says bow dice, shield dice, spear dice, sword dice, for everybody but Karen, this has changed. So the text is the weapons are bigger dice now than they used to be.
Okay.
So for bows, under bow dice, you're going to say 1d10. 1d12. Apologize. Spears are 1d10. Swords are 2d8. And shields are still just 1d8. Jason, this will be my sort of commentary on the changes. Is that Jason was going for shorter battles, and so weapons have been upgraded and defenses have not. So
nice.
Everything just gets a little deadlier, and that's in part because we want battles to be resolved quickly. And I realize I've not been keeping up with chat. So if anybody needed my attention and I missed you, just say it again, and I apologize. Got chat back up again.
Can you give those numbers again, or did you want me to write something different?
No, you can. Those numbers apply to you as well. It's just you need to put a slash between yours to indicate that you don't have 4d8 of swords. You have 2d8/2d8. So I will repeat them though. So swords are worth 2d8. Spears are worth 1d10.
Hang on.
Are 1d12.
Hang on, sir. I'm trying to write these.
Slowing it down.
So swords are
2d8.
Okay.
Spears are 1d10. Bows are 1d12. And shields are 1d8.
Thank you.
And you can put them in the character sheet where it says bow dice, shield dice, all that jazz. All right.
Cool.
Okay, I see. So when we do get into battle, when you're using these weapons, we'll do some fun tricks of putting them in hands, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, wonderful. So the next thing that we're going to do is choose armor. You can choose up to 3 pieces of armor: a helmet, breastplate, and greaves. If you choose no armor, let's see, if you choose 1 piece of armor, it's worth your armor die as d6. If you choose 2 pieces of armor, it's d8. And if you choose 3 pieces of armor, it's d10. Each armor comes with a penalty for using it. The helmet gives you -1 on missile attack rolls. You cannot see as well through the visor. That is, a breastplate gives you -1 on melee rolls, and greaves give you -1 on positioning rolls. One of the things that's part of battle is that in between each round or in between each exchange, everybody has a chance to like throw down their old weapons, pick up new ones, toss off armor, put on new armor. So you're essentially, if your armor is depleted, if you're in a breastplate and it's been wrecked by an attack, you can then at the end of that round be like, I cut it free and toss it loose, because it's not. Your armor die has already been impaired by it. You've already lost it. So, Panther Uncut. So does a shield roll basically subtract from weapon roll or something else? So what will happen is when we get into battle, the heroes and their opponents will each roll an attack pool, which includes their weapon dice and their ability, and one ability they can choose which way to put it, and possibly their name. and a defense pool, which will include their defense dice, their perhaps an ability. Your ability, you have to choose which to put your ability in, and also perhaps their name. And we'll see, and then we'll compare the scores. And if the attacking side is a victory, they'll inflict a wound. It'll make sense when we go into play. It does occur to me though that there's no reason to use a shield now that I think about it, because swords are 2d8 and shields are 1d8. So you might as well just put a sword in your defensive hand and defend with a sword. I don't think there's any reason to use a shield.
That's a design point.
Yep.
And there was probably a reason why it was the way it was before, but whatever. Who cares?
That's why we're playtesting. Right.
No,
I mean, the simple solution is just bump shield up as well, but then it doesn't quite accomplish what he was looking for. So that's okay. That's why. That's okay.
Playtest, everybody.
So what would you like us to do right now with our armor dice?
So I'd like you to pick in your armor dice. I'd like you to put a little X in the parentheses next to each of our armor bits that you want: helmet, greaves, or breastplate, so we know what you're wearing. And then set your armor die accordingly. D6 for 1, D8 for 2, D10 for 3.
Got it. Thank you.
When you are wounded, you will roll your armor die, and if you roll 4 or higher, then you negate the wound and your armor is impaired. And impairing always means across the board your die goes down by 1. So D8 becomes a D6, etc. And once something is impaired from D4, it's unusable. Your armor's destroyed after it's been impaired the last time. So yeah, I'm looking at Nadjas right now. Hagne wears breastplate and greaves, and it has a D8.
John, if you don't take helmet, I swear to God.
I did. I have a helmet and greaves.
Good.
Helmet, very important.
And nothing else.
Nothing else.
No, you don't need breastplates. It's a Greek hero, a helmet.
Yeah.
Why cover center mass? That's for people to see your athletic body.
I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? Great spirited. That's what it's all about.
All right. So Marika. Okay, everybody's got their armor and they've set their die. Karen, I'm going to make a small revision, which is that don't put the 8 in the brackets. The brackets are there for when it gets impaired later on.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So no biggie. All right, and then we are going to find our name die, and perhaps I actually skipped over that. I must have missed that step, but it's okay. We'll get to it. So everybody's fate is going to start at 0, except for the fate of a demigod, which is going to start. Let me make sure I'm getting it right. I can play these rules. 68. I just can't remember whether it's 16 boxes or 14 boxes. All right, I'm just gonna have to pull up the sheet and count them. That's awesome.
I'm not saying anything.
I should have trusted my instinct. It's 16 boxes. It's 8. Okay, so under fate, Karen, go ahead and change your fate to 8.
Woohoo!
And your name die is a D8.
Yeah.
You roll your name die on everything. You always roll your name in every contest.
Nice.
I think armor may be the one exception. I could be wrong on that. I'll double check when it comes to that. But in every contest, you'll roll name. So you're just better at everything because you're the child of a god.
Kind of a big deal.
Yes. And then you also start with 7 divine favor. And you can gain more over the course of doing quests for gods. So your max right now is 7 out of 7, but you will potentially gain up to 14 in by completing quests. And divine favor can be used for several things. I'll just give you a preview of them right now. You can add extra dice to your pool. You can open-end a die. That's really the only way to get truly astronomical numbers, is to open-end a die. If you roll the top number on any given die, you can spend a divine favor and explode that die, and then they continue to explode. So if you roll an 8 on a d8, spend the divine favor and roll another d8 and add it to the total. Otherwise, all dice, you just take the highest value. So even though the sword is 2d8, you're still only rolling 2 8-sideds and taking the highest, not adding them together. You can re-roll dice. You can make an additional attack during exchange. And they cost varying amounts. And if you're willing to spend 5, you can be blessed with a divine weapon. That the gods will bless your weapon, so you can harm enemies which would otherwise be invulnerable. Yeah, you will recover your divine favor by making sacrifices to the gods. So you start with 7. They like you, and that is all that we need to know about your characters before they met each other. And now we're going to do a little section of achievements where you will challenge another hero. This is going to describe your history with each other, how you came to be here together. And so you're going to describe a hero. You're going to pick a trait and challenge them in that trait. And then I will frame a scene, perhaps during the war, perhaps on the ship, that where that trait would be of use, and we'll have a little contest. And whoever wins that contest will have an oath from the other person. And so if you look down towards the bottom under wounds, I think I have a section for oaths. Yeah. Where under wounds, where it says oaths, go ahead and put in the other 2 heroes' names, and you'll see how many oaths, and you only record, make sure I'm getting it right. Make sure if you're recording oaths that you owe or oaths that you are owed. I think it's oaths you owe, but I could be getting it wrong. John, do you remember offhand? If not, I'm happy.
I don't know how to play this game.
Fine. That's okay. It's all right. I haven't played this in a while. If you have an oath, the winner will write the loser. Yes. So when someone owes you an oath, you will put an oath next to the name. You can use an oath to force someone to help you in a role. You can use an oath to negotiate with someone. If you do help someone and you don't owe them an oath, they now owe you an oath. So they're a currency.
Yeah.
Not completely unlike strings.
I don't know how to play this game, but I would guess that means that aggressive helping is a thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm helping you. Haha. You owe me now. I'm helping you.
Yeah. Yes, aggressive helping is totally a thing.
Stop helping me.
Helping somebody with your worst trait so that they probably don't actually get a lot of help is a really shitty thing too. I'm going to help you with my D4.
You're giving away the move, Sean. Come on.
Sorry.
I guess it's only fair. All of us have played except Nadja. That would not. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to play, but
clearly
I don't,
because you just spilled the beans right there. And if you have an idea in mind for how you might have faced that person in this particular way, in this ability, then feel free to throw it out there. It's incumbent upon me to make sure that we have the scene flavored with something, but I'm not at all opposed to bringing in your any past that you think you would like to pull together. All of the Greek stories that we have heard, all of the myths, all of the all of Greek mythology, all of the adjacent to Greek mythology, all of the things that we think maybe came from Greek mythology, the things we think would be really cool in Greek mythology, that has either happened or will happen or can have happened. It may be in the wrong order. We don't care about any of that. We care about these heroes. We don't care about adhering to any kind of Greek myths perfectly. So feel free to say at Troy, this happened. Feel free to say, well, marshaled under Agamemnon, but also feel free to just make up stuff you feel like is in the spirit of Greek heroes, and we will weave it in. So Karen, will you go first in picking achievements? You're going to name another hero and pick an ability that you would like to challenge them in.
All right. Let's go with Adrastos. And let me pull up your...
Well, let's compare who's better at what.
Let's compare who's better at what.
Exactly. Where do I have an advantage over you?
This is one fun thing that is a little different when you're playing online versus tabletop. Is tabletop, people have got their character sheets in front of them, and you could certainly look over at them, but it may be gauche to like grab someone's character sheet and scan it for their lowest versus their highest. But on Twitch,
well, let's do something easy. Let's do a might. We're both. Oh no, wait. I'm better than you. I was trying to find something that we were both equal at that would seem like something that we could mess around with.
Just leave it up for fate to decide.
Yeah.
I like the spirit of that. It's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find something that we have the same. We both have heal at D6. Who can bandage the best? I don't know. Meh. Let's go with might.
Right, yeah.
It's not too uneven. I've got a D8, you've got a D6.
All right. You challenge me I accept your challenge of might.
Mm-hmm.
I did in the past.
You did. So the doors, the massive gates to Troy, were barred with a mighty beam that normally a team of lesser peasants would heave up with chains to raise. But when the two of you emerged from the horse and were tasked to open the doors, it was one of you that lifted the beam up higher so that it could be toppled and the doors could be opened. Let us find out which of you was able to raise that beam. So this is our first contest. Yay, exciting. What you're gonna do is there's no because we don't have like a roll 20 sheet for this to roll a thing. You're just going to roll your dice, and you can do that either using the little die roller, which is the D20 of an upper left-hand corner, and pick the dice you want to roll, or you can do R/R space and then all the dice that you want to roll with pluses between them. So for instance, if your might is a D6 and your name is a D8, you'd roll /R space 1D6 plus 1D8. I think that's correct.
Oh,
that will add them together, but we can still just read the results and see.
Oh, right. And so yes, and then if you do,
there's syntax for other stuff if you want to do it, but
yeah, if you do K1, it'll keep the highest.
It has to be in curly braces, I think. It
does have to be in curly brackets, yeah.
It's a whole thing.
So I will.
Somebody make a sheet for us.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to see it once. Here, I'll just roll mine. I am no broad-backed Heracles, Marika, but I will lend my efforts to yours. Here, let us strain together against this bar.
Yes.
God damn it.
Excellent.
Well, wait, but John, you should also roll your name.
Oh, right. Yes, thank you.
Don't forget your name. I'm going to go ahead and type the command without the slash so you see what it looks like. Oops. That's actually.
How did my name go?
Here, I'll do
Why
it
can't I
properly with
find
my
it?
name and my thing just so you can see it. I'll keep that one as one of my results, but
There it is.
No spaces
that's what it looks like.
around the plus.
No spaces around the plus. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get this. We'll get this. Yeah.
There we go. I did it.
Make a sheet for us.
If someone could get on that in like the next
Watching
minutes.
us struggle will inspire.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, these are the trials which will sharpen our blades against our enemies, John.
Imagine the glory that one might win by making a sheet for this game.
Okay, so yeah, plus 100
Okay.
glory to anyone who makes a sheet for this game, and you'll be beating all of the heroes here. I'm telling you.
I have strained with all my might against this timber, and I have scored a 5. Oh, geez.
All right.
And you think you're doing so well, and you think that you've got this, and then you realize that no, Marika is pushing more.
Yeah, I'm not even holding it.
Eventually just moves away from your hands, and you're just like,
it lifts up, Bob. And it's worth noting that you did this, I think, with your name die, right? Not that matters anything, but it is truly the power of Zeus that impels you to lift this up mighty, like his son Hercules. You also share in his might.
Point of order. Adrastos being the son of Circe, does that count as a demigod or?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I think we could go either way. Do you have an opinion? No.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, she was a witch.
Yeah.
Sorceress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She is certainly a demigod, at least, right? Like if you were playing Circe, it would make all sense to be like.
Does demigods beget demigods?
Well,
hard to say. I mean, I think
who knows?
Allison and John just subscribed. You guys are the best.
Yes.
We have a full party and then some.
Glory to you.
I think we just paid for Zoom. Sweet.
What?
Nice.
Chat, did you know that if you have Amazon Prime, you could have a free Twitch subscription to this very channel?
What? I have Amazon Prime.
Hashtag NERPs. Get them now. Anyway, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could already start hacking the game. I could have like a D6 plus 2 name and forfeit ticked off, or like we could start hacking. But nah.
I think let's play this. I mean, we can certainly decide that you're a demigod. That's fine, but I don't think we should hack the rules of character creation yet because we're going to give Jason back.
I am going to start out with a normal mortal name, and if we discover in play that I am in fact divine in some way, then we can change.
We'll just change it. Yeah, we'll adjust.
Yep.
So in this case, Karen, you will write down Adrastos, and then in the parentheses 1, because Adrastos owes you an oath. You were the one who lifted the beam and opened the doors, and not he. And everybody knows it.
Sweet.
And if this was a normal contest, you would also gain glory from this. But we'll gain glory in game. All right.
Sorry, do I need to do something? Is this inside of the parentheses, or it doesn't matter?
Inside the parentheses, put a 1.
Got it.
So that means he owes you 1 oath.
Thank you.
I mean, somebody please make us a sheet. We would really love it if you made us a sheet. Plus
I think
100.
Ash said that. Yes, I think it's going to happen. DMs, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's a binding contract, but it looks like yeah.
Well, here is for anybody inclined. Here's in. Oh wait, that's a bad place to put it. Nope, that's a bad place to put it. Too many damn chats. All right, that's the character sheet. And
I can DM you and send you other details as well.
Yeah, and there's things about how stats get decreased, but
yeah, we'll do it.
But yeah.
Thank you so much. That's gonna be awesome.
Thank you. That would be so fantastic. All right. So now choose a different ability to challenge. Let me see. To challenge Hogni.
Okay, cool. Let's see. What would be fun here?
And everybody's going to challenge everyone else to something. So don't,
let's do Grace. We both got a D6 in it.
Sounds good. Grace. Wonderful. When the ships were sailing and they had been at sea for what seemed like ages, and there was no land to be seen anywhere, and the warriors and the soldiers seemed to be going mad with delirium of no contact with the rest of the world. Agamemnon called for the finest dancers to perform. He brought his own herald who would play the lute, but he challenged each of the soldiers to dance for each other to see who was the most graceful of them. And one by one, they all tired of exhaustion, and they all realized that they were inferior to the other, until at last, of all of the two on Agamemnon's great vessel, all that was left were Hogni and Marika. And exhausted and Marika. Why am I saying it wrong?
I don't know.
I swear it's like a curse that I will say your character's name's wrong.
Yep.
Marika. And it is the two of you left to not only show who is the more fleet of foot and graceful, but also the one who would inspire all of the others to carry on and raise their vigor, so that they could make it until you landed.
Marika's doing, basically, she's got both of her swords and is doing kind of like a kata of as her dance.
Nice.
It looks pretty cool. Hopefully. We'll see. I'm rolling.
It sounds pretty cool. I mean...
Oh, it's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
Ooh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's actually impossible for me to surmount this coolness, but let's see how bad I do.
It's not impossible.
You're pretty cool.
You could roll a 6 and then say, I want to spend a divine favor in character creation and explode it. Then again, Karen rolled an 8 so she could spend a divine favor to... Yeah. So nevertheless, Nadja, please tell me what Hogne's dance looks like.
Hogne does something she learned in the Temple of Artemis, which is she doesn't like dancing, but she was asked to. And so she learned this dance and she performs it reasonably well, but there's not like the passion for it that you can see in this like man killer kata that's going on. Like, Hogne's not going to take you to war, but like Marika is inspiring people.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to like pick up their swords and go kill some people. Luckily, you get to land soon. Otherwise, they'd all be killing each other. But
oh no, I inspired them too much.
The toxic masculinity, it is exploding around.
Oh
God. Excellent. Okay, cool. Nadja, you want to go about challenging your fellow heroes?
Indeed, I shall. Let's first challenge. Let's challenge Marika to aim.
Cool. I'm really bad at that. I see what you're doing.
I mean,
no, it's fair.
I have to like prove my martial prowess now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Fantastic. Well, I think I'm going to continue along that storyline then, there, when you entered the Black Sea, the fishing which had been sustaining the troops, the sea was too salty, and the fish were not became less plentiful, and a flock of birds flew over, and some refused to fire upon the birds because they thought it was a bad omen. But others knew that was sustenance for any who were worthy. And everyone else reached for their bows and fired, and their arrows just fell short. These nameless soldiers, a whole volley landed, and they poured into the sea, wasted and useless, just like these heroes. But there were 2 shafts left, and each of you grabbed the last 2, and took aim.
Cool.
Let's see who cast down. Who shot rang true.
Rude.
Oh.
Rude.
So rude. That I gotta
Sorry,
say.
I'm so good at this, guys.
Those half divine names.
Whatever.
Hashtag not sorry.
Demigod man babies. It's fine.
A little bit. Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So Marika, you will note that Hogni owes you 2 oaths.
Oh my God. It's so embarrassing for you.
Indeed it is.
Man killer OP, please nerf. All right. Okay. And your challenge to great spirited Adrastos. Damn you, privilege.
Privilege. Come on.
Demigod privilege for real. It's real, guys.
Yeah, no, it's true. You're right. I don't see my own privilege.
For Adrastos, I would like to choose insight.
Awesome.
Curses.
Awesome.
Curse my mediocre insight.
Yeah.
You're one of those very outroverted people, I feel, that doesn't really reflect.
Right.
No.
Right.
Not a lot
But the
of
dice might screw me, so who knows?
In one of your many journeys since the war, you have faced many challenges, and upon one of them, Cersei herself came to Cersei sent her minions to harry your ship, and they would only allow those who and they cast around your ship the images of sea monsters and of torrential storms and they masked the rocks that would surely rupture your hull and sink you all. And Cersei herself, just digging this in there, John, for you, herself called out that to see if her son was worthy to see through her illusions, and at the prow of your great ship, we see Hogni and Adrastos peering through to try and tell truth from fiction and discover the path to take your ship safely through the rocks.
Take heart, men. It is but my mother's trickery. Be still, and I shall.
Women.
Yeah, that's true.
She's right there.
Side eye from Hogni.
I say a bunch of nonsense about how I'm going to take care of it, and then I.
All right.
I got a 4.
It's
all right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I did something. So you're going on and on about your mother's trickery, and I like cut through your speech and I say, "No, you swaggering fool! Turn the ship this way. There's rocks ahead." I just cut you off.
And
Nice.
And we see the fleet, as it were. Some of the fleet say, surely the son of Cersei would know his mother's spells better than anyone else. And that ship continues forward and is ripped apart on the rocks. But your ship is safely goes, and the rest of the fleet follows.
Oh, shit. I don't
You're
shed
in
a single
so
tear.
much trouble, man. That is That is definitely embarrassing. I mean that
happens.
like the dancing, but no, you're way. That's so much.
Yeah,
worse.
that's right, chat. Man won't ask for directions. Yep, that's classic problem.
Classic man.
So I think the highest roll now is a 10 right now.
Shit, yeah.
There is
insight.
Sure. Actually, it's a 12 because I have a +2.
Oh damn!
What?
Shit.
Fuck.
Yeah. You won by. If it was important, every time you beat somebody, it's a victory, and then by every 4 you beat them by, it's another victory. So if this was, it's not in this oath, but if it was significant, that's 3 victories. 1 for beating, and then 4 more is 8, and 4 more is 12. So when you're inflicting wounds on beasts and named people and monsters, and when you're trying to gain advantage over someone, it does matter how much higher you roll. Cool. And Adrastos, Great Spirited Adrastos.
Yes.
Who will you challenge? And to what?
Spearmaster, whatever we're calling you, Grease Master. I have a proposal. I would like to test the same thing, but that's not technically allowed, right? You have to have two.
You have to pick 2 different skills, but you can pick the same one as someone else tested. That's fine. You could pick Miter or.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
I wanted to be clear on that point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
And the reason why John is calling me Spearmaster or something like that is that one change that's notable is that the GM is no longer called the antagonist. That was a fun, cool, neat thing in first edition, but one of the things the antagonists did was they had a strife pool, and they had like a currency with which they challenged the players, and we're removing that strife pool altogether. The GM will just assign a challenge as they see fit to any. They don't have a economy they have to manage, and so even though the game is still Agon and you will be challenged, we're taking away the term antagonist. So maybe it'll be GM, maybe it will be spear holder. I like that. I can be your spear holder. So yeah, you want to? Let me double check the rules.
I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't think it's like they get claimed, but Jason may have done something with that.
It's just the same hero can't challenge everyone to
with the same thing.
With the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But you can certainly do Miter Inside or any of those things.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. I would like to test my spirit, of course, against one of my fellow heroes, and they're equally ranked below me. So I think.
I mean,
I got most recently.
Marika has not lost a challenge yet.
That is true. Actually.
So it's probably time.
Oh yeah, and I would like to suggest that perhaps to save my face a little bit in the flashback, perhaps Spearmaster, this is after the bar was pulled away from the gates of Ilium, and we are charging forward into the cloud of arrows blotting out the sun as we charge forward, and only the most valiant and courageous heroes perhaps could dare to charge ahead underneath that withering.
I think we saw a wall of heroes running, and they were all cheering, and they were all spirited, and some of them were even waving their swords in an imitation of Marika's sword dance. A poor imitation, but an imitation. And then when the arrows came, many of them quelled in fear and took cover and hid behind their shields. But one of you burst through the line and was not afraid. Excellent. Go ahead and roll that. Okay.
I think I did my syntax right. Okay, I got an 8.
You got
My
an 8.
arm's all tired. I'll hang back. You know, because I just pushed that big heavy thing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just way out of it.
I think Marika, an arrow lands right at your feet and causes that moment of hesitation that if you could run forward, you would have been impaled. So you pause for just that moment, and that is when Adrastos charges past and slays the first soldier in Ilium. For those who are not familiar, Ilium is the Greek name for Troy. So same thing. We can use them interchangeably.
Same thing. Yeah.
Excellent. So
The more you know.
Yes. So Marika owes you a
Wonderful Marika.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Now I shall challenge my other companion, Hogne, clever-eyed Hogne. Try to stay away from being clever, maybe.
yeah.
How about
cleverness?
How about, let's see how we stack up here. I think I have an advantage. I have a slight advantage there. Let's do. Oh, geez, you got that +2 on your cunning, don't you? Curses. I'm gonna go with Orate against Hogne.
All right.
I don't have any thoughts here, Sean. Feel free to do whatever.
Okay, excellent.
Some rousing speech.
Yeah, definitely a rousing speech. I think the battle was long and drawn out. There were many losses on both sides, and when Achilles fell and was and when Achilles fell, the spirit of the Greeks was broken. I'm getting that right. Not mixing up my sides here.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. After driving his chariot with the body of Hector around the walls of Ilium, it seems that the fates had turned on him, and when Achilles fell, the Greeks were sure that all was lost, and a rousing speech needed to be made to bring together, to bring everyone back, restore their vigor, and each great warrior came to say their part, but only one inspired the Greeks to redouble their efforts. Let's find out which one of you is the one to bring them back to the battle.
Well, my speech features the low-handed trickery of Odysseus being one of our great weaknesses, and the gods have struck down our mightiest hero because we were too base and cunning to slip through into the walls of Troy with subterfuge, and now we must gird up our loins and steel our hearts and fight like true Greeks face to face and be done with all of this. That's the tenor of my speech, anyway.
Nice. Naja, do you want to describe Hogne's?
I think Hogne castigates people. She says, "We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the following," and she details ways in which the army or whoever's doing the strategy is fucked up.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, there are many kings what sit back and let you fight to blame. There are plenty of and queens. There are plenty of others to blame for your predicament.
I'm looking at you, fuck up Eos.
Yeah,
Get on your goddamn greaves. Get out here.
All right, here we go. Oration. Oh man, that's not a great roll. Ooh,
But mine is worse.
only got a 6, but I'll take it. it.
Hey.
Yes, I'm not inaccurate, but I am not inspiring.
Yeah, I felt like that's where we were going. The one who's like, "Let's be brave," and I was like, "Y'all are fuck offs."
For some reason, that doesn't inspire them. What do you know?
I mean, it would have been great. It would have been hilarious if it did.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
But all right, so Restos, go ahead and mark that you have an oath, and we have made our characters, and it is right in the middle of our stream. So I think that's a perfect time for us to take a little 5, and we'll come back as you arrive. So that was all in the way back-ish. You know, all this happened months or years ago. Time is very fluid in the retelling because we tell stories out of order, so it doesn't really matter when exactly that was. But now you, like Odysseus, are sailing on your lone ship, and you're encountering these islands, and we'll encounter the first island when we return. So that was great, everyone. This is the best. I'm loving it so far, and we'll find out how Hogne and Adrastos and Marika fare shortly. So see you all in, once I can get OBS to respond. See you all in a few.